Alrighty, I've got it solved. What a mess. Um, I turned on Teams earlier and it needed access to my camera apparently, and so it didn't give it back. So I had to shut off Teams to get that functioning again. Okay, so a few things I've been trying to work out in planning is one is the asynchronicity of all the players acting on the field at the same time. So I've been trying to figure out how that implements in the sense of a computer program, right? Because first of all, there's a lot of stuff happening at the same time, but you're not controlling everything. I mean, everything's not moving at the same time, or if it is, it's in microscopic. What do you call it? I want to say microscopic element or moments. So it's like 1,000th of a second, but I don't know. It's like if I want to move a player across a field, right? And a player runs at 4 seconds. How do you judge the time? See, that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out. How does one judge the time it takes in relational time between, saying, the snap of the ball and the time it takes for stuff to happen on the field? Now, I know a lot of these football games have kind of got that basic. You can kind of play with the UI, with the programming interface like Unity. You can kind of see how long it takes. What's a good pace of movement? But what if you're just doing this like you want that same kind of interaction without a UI element? Yes, you want to be able to implement a UI element over it, but you need to have the simulations that happen behind the scenes be just as smart as the movement on the screen. So are you going to have the UI take part in the logic? I mean, are you going to say, okay, well, the UI says it takes this long to move from here to here in 4 seconds, you know? I mean, the question is, how do you generate a similar amount of time across the board? And how fast can a computer do that? I mean, I know a computer moves. I mean, you can do things really fast, thousands of things a second, right? But it's what do you call it? Bytes a second or whatever it can process. But it's got to do it. It's got to do it very quickly for a lot of stuff. And it's got to pull data. It's got to, I mean, it's going to be reading data from a database. So how much of it do you load it up all in advance and then try to read all from that? Which you could do, which I probably will. I'll probably load up all of my player skills and stats from the database before we even start. So it'll be working straight out of memory. And it'll probably be pretty quick. I guess I'm having a hard time visualizing just how quick it can process that. So I've been talking or having a chat with ChatGPT and various chat algorithms just to see how that's typically done. So, all right, how is movement handled to create relative speed players on a field in computer sports games such as football. When processing actions simultaneously on a field, some players move slower than others, but still they move but still they dramatically to look realistic. In UI. Player moves computed in real time based on several factors. Speed attributes. Each player has a speed attribute. Blah 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 blah. That determines how fast they can move. Field positioning. The game calculates movement relative to the field's dimensions to maintain scale and realism. Physics integration. Movement is constrained by physics-based calculations to ensure smooth transitions and realistic interactions. I'm not too worried about the physics part of it because I'm not getting that deep into it. I mean, yes, physics are cool. They do a lot of really nice things, but I still just basically I'm not too worried about the physics part of it. Huh. See that? Because that's going to be a key element in my simulation is that characters are going to have speed adjustment, right? So if the simulation's taking part mostly in memory, and then you provide those results to, say, the UI, and the UI is just going to take all that and mimic it. You know, it's going to say, okay, well, this is what I'm doing over the top of whatever you've simulated. So it's a little bit to simulate players moving at different speeds while maintaining realistic encounters. Frame independent movement. All players move based on time steps, ensuring faster players cover more distance per frame. Time to collision. The game calculates when and where two players will meet using predictive algorithms. Distance between players, relative speed. This ensures players visibly encounter each other at the correct time. Slower players dynamically adjust their path if they're chasing faster players. Faster players may juke slower ones, triggering animations or path changes. To make movement appear realistic in the UI, root motion animations determine a character's actual movement on screen, but they are synced with back-end calculations to ensure precision. A system interpolates between animations, walking, jogging, sprinting, based on speed. Slower players blend animations differently than faster ones, creating the illusion of varied movement speeds. Collision detection and avoidance. When players encounter each other, collision resolution, players' velocities are adjusted based on collision physics. For example, a player tackling another will trigger a stop and react sequence with predefined animations. Pathfinding algorithms. Slow players find optimal paths to intercept faster players using algorithms like A or steering behaviors. These adjust movement dynamically to avoid robotic or linear paths. All sounds pretty complicated, huh? I mean, I think it's really not going to be too bad. But the thing is, it's impressive that people, create these games that they do create. A lot of times with small to medium-sized groups of developers, and they have to implement all this stuff. Counters player anticipation. The game uses AI to predict the player's movement consistently when two players meet. Special animations, e.g. tackle, spins, blocks, or trigger, blending seamlessly into the action. Faster players might decelerate slightly in animations to make encounters look natural. To ensure UI matches back-end calculations, interpolation, extrapolation. The UI uses interpolation to smooth out small discrepancies between frames. Extrapolation predicts short-term positions for high latency situations. Camera work. The camera dynamically adjusts to highlight player interactions, enhancing the realism of the encounter. Example code. We even have example code. Gave me sample code, so I figured, well, shoot, let's get my samples and go. It's like, why? Don't give it to me in Python. I don't want to do Python. Fixed time steps to ensure consistent deterministic simulations across all clients. Example, simulate game state updates at 60 ticks per second. 16.67 milliseconds intervals. That's pretty fast. Concurrency for player actions. See, that's the thing. Use Go routines to handle concurrent player inputs or actions. Channels can be used to synchronize input processing with game loop. Type player action, struct player action, action channel. Action channel is declared as a variable returning chain player action process actions. Deterministic simulations. Ensure all calculations, player movement, collision detection are deterministic to keep simulations consistent across servers and client. Avoid floating point inaccuracies by using integers or fixed point math for critical calculations. That makes sense. The things, when they meet exactly. There's not like any of this nonsense halfway, half met type stuff going on. Implement a physics engine or simplified physics logic. I'll probably have to do a simplified physics logic. I don't think I'm going to implement a physics engine, at least not at this point in time. Because I'm not, again, I'm not intending to have that high end of physics. Use spatial partitioning, e.g. grids or quad trees. Quad trees. Quad trees. Wouldn't it be quadrants? Quad trees. Or maybe, that's segments of fours. That's what a quad tree is. They're all the way they connect to each other. It's quad trees, not quadrants. To optimize collision detection for large numbers of players. Yeah, it's kind of how my game is designed. It's designed by grids. Testing and debugging. Use tools like pprof to profile and optimize performance. Write extensive unit tests for deterministic logic, ensuring consistent results in all environments. We like detailed examples, suggestions for specific areas, such as handling movement, implement WebSockets, communication, or optimize simulation logic in Go. Yeah. So, to me, this is like the most important part of the game, the simulation. I want the simulation to be accurate, where I have all of these skills and stats that I've defined and how they interact with each other. And so I need to start writing this piece of the puzzle, because this one might take me longest as far as singular items, short of the UI stuff. And it may not even be short of. It may actually be longer than some of the UI stuff, or much of it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the full UI part is, but the UI is basically going to be the. It's like putting the skin on the inner workings of the body, right? I mean, makes you look good, but all of the guts and the internals is what's making you function. You know, it's the important piece. Otherwise, you're just an empty skin sack, as some of these alien creatures in TV shows would call you. It's just you're not. You're just a nothing, a bag of flesh, unless that stuff inside is actually doing something. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make sure I get all the internals functioning as I would like. Alexa, set desk lamp to gold. Alexa, time to stream. Just trying to set my colors around me a little bit more so they're not so wonky. Got some wonky lighting situations going on here, so it just looks weird. Alexa, set desk lamp to soft white. Is that better? I don't know. Hopefully that's a little bit better. A little bit of color. All right. Let me see here. You might notice that I've got my sim saying sim day 30. I'm actually not sure how many days I've been working on this. I know it's we're about 30 days of actual work on the app, but I've probably done more like 35 or 40 days of doing planning and what do you call it, infrastructure and research. So I may be in the 40 to 45 range. I don't know, but the actual coding time, I'm about 30, and I'm trying to kind of keep it in line with how many days I stream. But even then, some of those times I work on coded items that I started during streaming, and I finish them up so that the next time I stream, I'm doing something new. Each individual task. So it's kind of a hit or miss. I'm probably up. I expect that number will keep growing. I should probably keep better track. Some people do the daily logs. I like the idea of a daily log. It's just hard for me to, quantify. And how much time do you spend writing a log? Probably should only have to spend a couple minutes in theory, but it doesn't always work out that way. So I recently decided that I have narrowed down my actual project items. What I'm going to be doing is what tools I'm going to be using between all of the things I was, and narrowing it down. So now I'm down to just using ClickUp and GitHub for my project management. I'm going to move all of my Azure DevOps stuff slowly but surely over to ClickUp, and I'm going with that for a couple of reasons. One, it's free. They're both free, right? But ClickUp lets me do more things easier, I think. Some of the interactive, like if I'm going to work with anybody else on this, I feel like I'm hoping that we'll be able to do like a free interaction. I don't know how many people I can actually do. I mean, if it's going to cost me, I'll go back to Azure DevOps. I don't know. I gotta figure out what I could do for free, because I've only got one, maybe. Well, I have one person right now who's going to help me work with some of the Unity stuff, but I don't know how much she's going to be available and how much she's actually going to put in on it. But still, I'd like to be able to keep my ClickUp tasks running. So supposedly I can tie it into my other things as well, so I'll be doing that. Anyhow, so as you see, I started working on my playbook because I got to be able to implement my plays. I've decided some of the approaches that I want to take to get my playbook defined, the plays in the playbook defined. I'm going to do it in component pieces. I'm actually thinking I'm going to build my playbook out of plays that I actually build within the app. So what does that mean? Will I have play construction in the game? Not sure yet. There's some things in there that I have to work out for that to be available. But if I can create them in the game, what that means is I'll be able to assemble the parts in a way that the computer that I've already defined for the game to be recognized, or for the parts to be recognized, such as routes and interactions, so that when I start executing the play, it knows, it has the bits and parts and knows how to read that. So if I can set them up in a way that I can define them on a web page, it's just like, set this up, click, set this up, click, save, 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 and they just write to the database, and I don't have to visualize them all. I can actually create them in a UI for the game. So what I'm going to do is probably have to create a UI that allows me to look at a field, or such as, it doesn't even matter what the field is, right? So like, for example, I have these, I don't know, so I have it open here? I don't even have it open. I'll show you what my next step is here, what I'm working on. Hate that I can't. Oh, here, it's like, it's really a pain to actually. If you miss this X by even a tiny bit, it will open. And publisher's not there. Where'd it go? And you're like, what the heck do you use publisher for? And well, I'll tell you. I designed almost every card in this game in publisher. All right, I'm trying to, wait, that's not what I want. Where's the browse button? Oh, here it is. I don't know, man. It's late. Okay, not that late, but it's late enough. Back to my schemes here. Go to my products and development. I should probably save this somewhere, huh? Just make it nice and convenient. There we go. That'll make that a little easier. Huh. Don't know how many versions of my desktop I need to get to, but let's see. So I got my player cards here, or not player cards, play cards. Play progression, play cards, player cards, plays. Okay, so these are some of the plays that are going to be in the game, or similar to. And I went over this the other day. These are the grids that I have set up. It's kind of an odd base set of grids, but basically what this is you can see there's 4, 4, 4, 4. And when players or groups of players enter these locations, they can all take part of a tackling attempt on a player. Defensive players, if they come in. Now, I mean, in general, there's only so many offensive players. There's 1, maybe 2 in the area. They could be coming around, but they're not usually helping with blocking, or they're not helping with tackling. They're trying to help the offensive guy get away, right? But they're rarely in the same spot. They're usually nearby, trying to keep other guys from entering that spot. But they may interfere slightly in how a tackle attempt takes place too, if they are in the same spot, reducing maybe the assistance of another player. But the advantage is, the way I have it set up is the best player always gets credit for the tackle. And if there's other players in the area, they might get assists. But he gets the tackle, they get assists. Because they assisted him in tackling. But it's just the way it goes. Sorry, man. Best guy gets the credit. That's why he's the best. Now, the other players could make their own tackles at times. And perhaps... that will, they'll get their own credit for tackling then. But it's going to show more for the star, whereas assists don't happen as much. But anyway, so you see I have all my different grids and locations so that when I add a route or a path, I don't even know if I should call it a route. I should probably just call them, paths or something. There's only so many types of paths, but I have to be able to give them a way for it to be entered. So and then I have to create not only the routes. So a lot of these values are defined paths. So if I have a route like this route would be difficult because I don't have this is not an actual path, right? Cut out, cut up, cut out. That's like a that's a complex path. This is like a hard cut. I don't even know what you would call this. I mean, it's some form of a what do you call it? A go route. It's really just, but you're trying to kind of throw off the receiver as you're doing this. But it also requires a slowdown, right? Because you're doing a cut and another cut and another cut. Those things cause you to change and accelerate at each point. So I think what I'm going to do is I need to do an interaction of a singular play, a play that has like one route, one player, one effort. One thing that's going to be able to be fixed by, just made to work. Get one thing working first, right? So I got to create basically what amounts to this grid in AI land, in the virtual, non-actual land. But if I'm going to start creating a UI to create these plays, I got to also create it in my test bed, which for now is still going to be my React implementation. And do I think that's good? I don't know. I mean, React is going to be a very simplistic tool in its total visibility. So there's only so much I can do with it. But I think it'll serve the purpose for this. So I guess we're going to find out. So I do want to deploy this. Let's go ahead and go. I don't think this is still running, is it? Is it running? That's status. It's not. It is running. So can I actually go to this? Gateway. Mongo. Front end. Will this run? It does. Kinda. Wait, why did that exit? Not find production build in the .next directory. Try building your app with the next build before starting the production server. What? Starting. Cannot find production build in the .NET structure. Alright, well, I guess I have to figure out this first if I want this to run. Alright, so we'll go over here and we'll say Docker app is going to start my web front end showing my React Next.js front end. Run next build. Make sure you build your app before starting the production server. Check it out. Ensure that your Docker file includes the necessary steps to build your Next.js apps. Alright, so Docker file. Let's go to my Docker file. Let's see, we got copy, debug, fix, build the application. npm run build. Public API URL, that's the API. Alright, well, first of all, let's see if everything's good if I just run it right now. npm run build. To make sure everything here is copacetic. I just moved on to this computer a few days ago, so it could be something's off. I don't think so, but because my other computer had to go back to the shop again. That's so annoying. Compiled successfully, so that's not a problem. Image could result for lower style CPT bound with opt. This may occur additional usage from provider. Seems to be running. Okay, so yeah, that's not what I want. Alright, so let's go ahead and hit stop on this guy. Where's my Docker app? We're gonna stop this guy. Kabooey. Let's just see what happens if I run the whole thing again. Let's see if maybe it's just shut down weird. If not, I will no, we're getting red, so I assume red is bad. Starting, see, it's trying to run, just trying to start the front end right here. Starting says ready. Everything looks like it's running, but is it? Is it though? Oh, guess it is. I don't know. Apparently just restarting it did the trick. Okay, so now the nice thing about running this in Docker is I can leave it running even with me doing other work right now. So that's a nice extra piece. I do want to create, let's add something on here. And then I'm going to add one little thing here. Excel. No. It's not it either. Oh, maybe that is it. Okay. Let's make that smaller for now. So, yeah, we don't need to have that over here now. So, okay, so I have this guy here. So if I was to go and show you right now, I have the coaching profile, right? So, no, apparently it's not reading the code that's in the coaching profile. Some properties are undefined. So it's not, and it may very well be that there is no data in that database now that I think about it. There's no data in that database because it's a new test database and it just creates, it's not pulling the, it's not mirroring the data. I forgot. I don't have it mirroring the data in my test environment, which is kind of a thing. Yeah, it's kind of a thing. I'm not sure even how would be the best way. Is it using what data? What data is it using? That's a good question. Good question. All right, so let's go ahead and stop. So I don't even know if I can I even use 3000 while that runs? I don't think I can because that's using its own port. It's not using the port on. Oh yes, that's a weird thing. Okay, so does Docker container running a website use the same port as the name? If I have a test Docker environment running on port, running a web host on localhost 3000, does that mean in my dev environment I cannot use local? So in theory, I should be able to run this and it won't conflict. Let's see what happens. That's what I'm told by the electronic brain in the sky. Electronic brain in the Ethernet, internet, in the ether. All right, so it does. It will run both times. Now let's see let's see if it'll run on my local machine. Oh, it does not. So why are my properties coming back undefined? Because I know this loads, because I should have data, unless I've done something recently that reset. Oh, I forgot. I don't have any data because I'm on a different machine. I am on a different machine. I forgot all about that because I had to move machines again. So yeah, I really shouldn't allow. I mean, ultimately, it'll never be blank. The database will never be blank, except during development in this early stages. Because there will come a point when, if there's any data in the database, it will just return an empty and be fine. But for some reason, until I have data, at least one record in the database, it's not returning anything. It's like, I don't know what you want. It needs to know what's available. So I need to at least create a single dummy record, which is kind of weird, but yeah, gotta do it. Which means I usually just go to my, I gotta go to my sample here. Gotta figure out where I put it. Create a whole nother object for this. Okay, so I have a dummy record. Which I think should work. I hope. I'll go back over to my, let's go here. Oh, what was that? Bash dash H what? That's not, I want the whole thing, man. Why did it? That was weird. How come it did that? Let's go to Bash. Let's try it again. No, why is it separating it like that? Stop it. It's not supposed to. These are supposed to mean continuation, one line, empty reply from server. Oh, do I not have it running? Oh, do I not have this running? Oops. It's very possible I don't have this running, so. And we're going to go, let's see, cd, dot, we're going to go game plan. Nope, cd, dot, back. Okay, where the heck? Oh, it's just game plan, never mind. Alright, and then we're going to go run dot. Oh, man. What do you mean? No, it's not there. Go command not found. What do you mean go command not found? What do you mean go command not found? Go command. What? Huh? How could Go? Wait. Okay, I know Go's installed. What? Did I? Oh. Oh. Maybe I'm just. npm run build. I don't need to do a build though. I just need to run. It's supposed to be npm go run. Okay, wait a minute. Am I really? Do I really not have it installed? Like, how could I not have it installed? Everything's working. That don't make sense. Why is... Wait a minute. Okay. Oh, I'm so confused right now. All right. Is it not Go? I know running it. Running my React applications is npm. I'm so confused now. Working in two different environments, two different computers is driving me bonkers. And it could be I have some issues. I may have to restart my... I could have swore I developed all this stuff in Go on this computer. Why would it not be here? All right, let's type in Go version. Let's do the Go version thing. Go version. Oh. Okay, maybe when I switched users, because I did kind of switch users. All right, let's do this. npm install. This may take a minute, but hopefully this is just the result of my changing computers. That's all I can guess. Something went weird. Okay, so it's not saying... $. Oh, that's PowerShell. Why are we doing that in PowerShell? Oh, that's Linux Mac. Oh, never mind. That doesn't work here. So, okay, so it's there. You know, I wonder if it is because I've changed servers or no, it's not. All right, so I gotta somehow. All right, well, I gotta reinstall Go. Well, that's lame. Lame, 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 lame. Actually, I'm not. I'm still on C drive now that I think about it. Oh, it's because I wanted to try to figure out how to get my computer onto this other drive, and so I'm trying not to do things on that drive, on a different drive. So that's not going to help. So let's go ahead and so many little things. When you switch computers, it's just a pain in the rear. Pain in the backside, man, because my backside is irritated by all the changes that are going on. Okay, how do I fix this? I'm trying to decide the best way to go about this. Do I just reinstall Go? Do I switch over to my other environment? So if I switch over to my other environment, or my other drive, what is the repercussions of such an action? Dang it. So, this is just going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem, troops. I got to figure out how to best to solve this. The issue is not even with the. Okay, so look, I have a C drive. The C and D drive here are exactly the same as this H and I drive. Or no, so not H and I drive. This J and J drive, which is no IJ. No, where are they? Oh, it's F. F and J are the same as C and D. And I want to boot to this new drive. I cloned C and D over to there, but for some reason it won't recognize on my system. And I'm trying to figure out why. All right, so I gotta go. Let's go here. All right. Let's see if there's anything AI can help me with. I don't think AI can solve this problem. I always say that, but then AI surprises me with stuff. One of these days, AI is going to go, yeah, I don't know what to tell you, man. You're poo out of luck. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we're going to go... I cloned my primary drive to a new SSD drive on my computer. However, so I can read and see all the items, read and access and work on the new SSD drive just fine. I cannot seem to boot to it as it is not recognizable by the BIOS as a bootable drive. What do I need to do to fix that? There are a few common issues that could be causing this problem. Ensure cloning was done correctly. Check boot partition. Confirm that the cloning process copied the entire disk, including the system EFI partition if using EFI, or the boot partition if using legacy BIOS. Oh, did I? I'm pretty sure I did do that, but let's go see. I'm dragging you along with me on my Macrium Reflect. I'm dragging you along with me on my journey into why the heck my computer did not boot my drive. I'm pretty sure it copied everything, including the UEFI partition, but we're going to find out. We're going to find out. Let's see what it did. So I've got my primary drive, the one that's currently functioning. Let's go to dark mode just because I want to. Okay. Alright, so we got my C and my VM, and then I have my cloned drive, which is F. I don't know. Wait, is that not it? Oh, where'd it go? Or maybe it's E? Oh, here we go. E and VM. Okay, so this is the one. So see, look, it looks exactly the same. I mean, file system properties. Let's see if there's something I'm missing here. Tools, hardware, sharing. So I'm basically trying to move from this drive to this drive, and it's just not working. Disable change block tracker, enable guardian. Images, file system participant, analyze file system. Disable change block tracker, enable image guardian. I don't know. What does this thing do? I guess there wasn't a UEFI partition from what I can tell. Set the new SSD as the boot drive. BIOS. Restart your computer, enter the BIOS UEFI settings, usually by pressing yeah. Locate the boot order or boot priority menu. Ensure the SSD is listed as the first boot device. If it doesn't appear, check your physical connections. See step 5. Repair the bootloader. If the cloning was successful but the drive still isn't bootable, you may need to repair the bootloader. For UEFI systems, boot from a window installation USB DVD. Choose repair your computer, troubleshoot command prompt. Run these commands. Disk part select list. Rebuild the UEFI bootloader. Thing is, I don't have a Windows disk to boot to. That's a whole nother problem. For legacy biosystems, boot from Windows installation USB DVD. Check repair your computer, troubleshoot command prompt. Run these commands. Alright, well, time for me to sign off. I gotta fix this problem if it's possible. So, that's alright. I got 20 minutes before I gotta sign off anyway. It wasn't making any progress or headway today, so just forget this one existed. Bummer. Yeah, I thought I was ready to dive head on into something, but apparently not.